As third person, I would like to invite the other guest, Kate Lee. Can you please come and give us?
Hello, brothers and sisters and friends. My name is Kate. I work for Union Aid Abroad, the global justice organisation of the Australian unions. For over 20 years, our organisation has worked with many ethnic communities of Burma, particularly those on the Thai-Burma border, and many exiled people of Burma in the struggle against the military dictatorship. And that work, that support has gone on for 20 years, but I know your struggle for recognition has gone on for decades. Many more decades before that. We fully recognise that the Rohingya people should be recognised by the state of Myanmar and given full recognition of citizenship. Of course, when the NLD was elected in November, many people around the world felt hope that your cause would be recognised. But today we all stand deeply disappointed and in fact very angry that Aung San Suu Kyi and the NLD's stance remains the same. We all believe internationally around the world in the international union movement that it must work hard now for national reconciliation and for reconciliation between the different communities in Rakhine State as well. Because the situation, as evidenced this month, goes from bad to worse. We also heard earlier this week reports that a military lockdown has cut off UN aid to some of the most vulnerable communities in Rakhine State. The government has cut off aid as security forces and troops sweep down through the northern part of Rakhine State in response to the violence and the deadly raids. As you all know, refugee camps in the southern part of the state have over 100,000 people, obviously mostly Rohingya, who have been displaced since 2012. But right now it's estimated that about 80,000 people are in immediate need of aid in this part of Western Myanmar. And the lockdown imposed by the military in Myanmar is crippling food and medical supplies to the area. We know that the continuing persecution of the Rohingya people is shamefully, what appears shamefully supported by the NLD and continuing to be supported by the NLD. The NLD must show leadership against bigotry, against racial and religious persecution in Burma. It must show immediate leadership and take steps for an impartial investigation supported by the international community into these recent crimes and into the ongoing persecution of the Rohingya people. We look for leadership of the NLD to denounce bigotry, persecution and undertake urgent dialogue before more civilian people are killed and become the target for ongoing attacks. The Australian government is complicit in this ongoing persecution by failing to close down the camps of Nauru and Manus, which house some Rohingya people who have fled this persecution. Our government should close those camps immediately and stop the international condemnation being brought to Australia and bring those people in those camps to Australia immediately for safety. We stand with your continuing demands on the state of Myanmar for urgent international and state attention, but in fact leadership. We need urgent leadership from the international community and from the NLD to live up to the democratic dreams that the NLD represents for people after 50 years of military dictatorship. And we stand with you in solidarity until the realisation of that aspiration of the Rohingya people are met. Thanks.